Hey everybody, it's Psychic Hunter David. Well, it is the week almost prior to, well, it is the week prior to us moving into June. So I'm going to do this now. As everybody can hear, the nose is done. I did not have a nose job. I had the surgery to remove all the polyps. I think he took a look at the adenoids too, don't quote me on that. But aside from a little bit of seasonal, they were cutting grass today, but it doesn't really bother me, and I love the smell. Haven't really been able to smell for years and years and years. So this has been a treat. And when people are smoking cigarettes, they're running away, and I'm like, no, I used to smoke. I'm actually okay. I can handle the cigarette smoke. I like pipe smoke too. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we are going to get on to June, and we're going to start with Gemini because we moved into Gemini in the last, I'd say probably the last 18 hours. And we've got that full moon in Sagittarius in a few days prior to stepping into June. And the reason I'm talking about this is because Jupiter makes its one every 12 years step into Gemini this Saturday, the 25th, and it's going to stay there for a year. And for me, it's really amazing because I have Jupiter in Gemini and my North Node is Gemini. So we shall see what comes of this. And I'm sorry about what happened the last couple months. I did upload them. I'd uploaded them wrong, and they were on Instagram and Facebook and never got to YouTube. So this is going to change. I'm going to make sure that everything's fixed up, and it was a fellow at a friend's party that told me what I was doing wrong. So we're going to start with Gemini, and I'm going to just take the liberty of pulling out, I'm using the Rider-Waite deck today, the story for Gemini. Now, there's going to be a lot go on for Gemini. And this makes sense with somebody I know. So, with you Geminis, the first thing that's come up in here is really quite direct. It's not a negative. I don't look at aces as negative. I look at them as really a functioning energy where everything is really pinpointed. It's not the completion. I mean, this is the Ace of Swords that I'm speaking about here. And right next to it is men, two kings in particular. And I do believe they're kings. I know some people argue. I've had people disagree with my philosophy. We have both to co-create. We don't need anybody anymore. We can do it in a petri dish. But anyway, so what we're going to get to here is the fact that there are two potential individuals and you have justice. Now, this can represent the fact that legal deliberation, legal decisions, opportunities come about that you're actually weighing. It can be simple as in weighing, extreme as in legal. It can be government. Obviously, in Canada here, we're in tax time. I think stateside you are as well. So this is going to go on. So there's the two kings. One of them is ferocious. The other one's intelligent. Not to say either. They can be both and all of. It can also be the symbolism of one particular individual that is a fire element with an air ascendant. This can also be what this is. And there's a lot happening. It's really interesting. One of the things that's here that I'd mentioned to the particular friend, she'll know who I mean, is the fact that sometimes when we go through legal severity, legal situation, it's to get us to really reassess and really gather our focus and our thoughts about sort of where do I go from here? And the after effect from this is new beginning, because there's the Magician, which points to, okay, what are you going to do here? And there's Pages, which are very youthful energy, young, fresh, let's go. And both of which are communication and emotion. So right after Gemini, we move into Cancer signs. So this could make a tremendous amount of sense. So I would say all in all, Gemini, the month is going to be interesting. If by chance something comes up that is legal, if it comes up that has to do with resolve, definitely it will be. But there's a meaning. Someone can say, well, I'm getting through this. I've got to get through this. Well, that's fine. But getting through isn't really like a sense of resolution in your own experience. You want to be able to understand, okay, why has this come to this in the first place? Or why is this concurred? What am I doing correctly? What am I not doing correctly? And what is it I would really like to be able to achieve from here? Because after the fact, there's the Magician, which points to, again, path. What do? You've got the intellect, knowledge, known or true, and then you've got the emotional. So maybe it's a combination. And what's fascinating is when this has shown up in previous readings, I've done this a long time, it actually does make tremendous sense that the person is up against, okay, what do I do with the rest of my life? What do I do now that I've resolved? So the judicial is here, whether it be choices, decisions. Some of you Geminis out there might be saying, well, I'm kind of deciding between lover partner, one of which is really fiery and ferocious and pretty, self and not really as bright as a bunny, and the other one's as bright as a bunny and a bit cool and more dad-like. So there's a lot going on, but the judicial's dead center, and then there's all this other stuff after the fact. So I would say all in all, Gemini, it's a really great start to this Sagittarian energy. The other thing I'll say that's quite interesting is that the King of Wands is here and the King of Swords. So you've got fire and you've got air. Well, you've got Jupiter, which is Sagittarius, and air, which is Gemini. So there you go. Boom. These two are together. So I would say this is a really interesting, pretty to the point scenario here. Just be pretty direct in regards to in your own mind's eye what you want. Make sure you share that with others. In regards to objective, you don't have to give away all your objective, but there is objective upon, deliberation and decision. So I would say it's a good thing. Anyway, please subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. Trying to build the channel, as I've said before, and hope you like this if you have watched it. And I'm trying to get the algorithm going. Now I figured out how this works. So I wish you guys all the best. You heard it here first. Again, Psychic Hunter David Williamson, and I'm available for personal consultation stateside, Britain, wherever I'm here, but you can figure it out through my website. Okay? Wish you guys all the best. Cheers.